Hello, everybody, and it's Rudy McCormick, and I am here on Michelle Patrick Photography. And today we're just going to run through a quick little tutorial on how to create the category boxes on the home page. And you can see here that I am in the admin section of the website, and I'm in the pages category. As you can see, last time we worked on galleries. Now we're going to work on updating the home page. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the home page. Quite a few pages on Michelle Patrick's website. Excuse me. And you can see that there were some test pages that I created called Michelle Patrick. And then on the last page, you can tell it's the front page, the home page, because it says front page. And you can tell I've edited this with the Elementor page editor because it also says that. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit with Elementor. And you can see that the Elementor page comes up, and you can tell by the logo as it's loading. And here we are. You can see the home page. You can see the Elementor admin section here on the left. And there's quite a few things. This is the Pro version, so the Pro version gives you all of the potential options. And essentially, you know, these are the same types of blocks that you get when you use the standard WordPress block editor, except for it's just a cleaner way to visually look at it. The other thing about the Elementor editor is that it breaks up your page into various blocks, sections, and things like that. And these blue squares and little tool tips are where you can see what's editable and how you'll edit it. And so today what we're going to do is we're just going to dig into these category blocks here. And what these are is these are just nice, clean image background category blocks that tell you essentially how to navigate the site. And so the easiest way to do this, and I can see that Michelle's created a couple down here at the bottom already, is you just have to look at it from a hierarchical perspective, and that is that, you know, each one of these large sections is broken down into columns, which are the backgrounds, column left and column right, and then the inner block, which is the overlay and the text. So typically the best way to do this is you're going to create two at a time, and essentially you just add a section, and the best way to do this is to right click and then duplicate. We're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go through how to edit these. So essentially when you're creating new ones, it's easier so that you don't have to recreate the wheel every single time if you just duplicate and edit. So let's just act as if we've duplicated these. And so we'll go here in the middle blue box where it says edit section. That's not really what we need to touch here. But if we do, we can see that the left side changes, and this is the section editing dialog where you've got layout. Talks about how it's built, right? It's a boxed width layout. There's no gap. It's all default. Follows the CSS to a T, and then the styling. There's no background image. You could have one. There's no overlay. There's no borders because it's just a clean white website. The typography follows the CSS. And so what we want to really focus in on is these two inner boxes, right? So we've duplicated this and we've got a big column or a large section here. And so we want to first update the background image. What we do is we make sure that we've got the column, and you can tell it's a column by this little icon here just shows two two equally sectioned columns, and then it says edit column in the tooltip. So when we click there, now it goes, the left dialog changes, right? So it's got the layout, and everything is just basically default. When you add a column or add a section, it asks you how many columns you want, and so we chose 2. The style, here now you can see where things start to happen a little bit. You've got the image in the background, and this is, you know, you'll choose these and change these as you add categories. And then if you wanted an overlay in the background, you could have that. At this point we don't have one. If you wanted a border around that, you could add that, which we're not doing. And then the advanced. And the advanced is where you start to get into more detail. Here we've got a little bit of margin to the right, and you can see that 20 pixel margin here. And that's really all we have. There's really no motion effects. It's always going to be responsive. And then so the first place is to change this image, and here we do that in the style section of the column, and then choose image, and then that will just take you to an image on your computer. Pick one that you like that's in that category, and then what you want to do is you want to go into the inner block and then edit the intersection. Here you can change the structure, you can change the column if you'd like. The structure basically is the overlay, and then the style here, same thing. And then if you want to change the text, you just hover over the text, click the text, and then you can edit the text here in the title box. And then the link, if you wanted that to link to something. Otherwise, the link is actually here in this text box, and you can see here we have it linked to this category. Once you're done with all these, you just simply update the page, and that saves it, and then it's live. So you want to make sure and just do both columns if you have 2 categories that you're going to be redoing. And so I would hold off making these edits until you have 2 new categories to add, and then it's simply a matter of right-clicking in the edit section, choosing duplicate, and then clicking each piece of this going inwards, editing as you go.